I'm with you, Katie, because I'm reading this, but I got nosy because you all talked about Icebreaker, so I just went and borrowed Icebreaker from my...
Wait.
So not
Sorry
read
for
This book is not good.
You could not make me put this down. I could do nothing else except read Icebreaker once I started this book.
Hi everyone, my name is Julie. This is Keep Calm with Books and Coffee. I talk about books on this channel, mainly books about magic, except today we're going to be talking about Icebreaker by Hannah Grace. I recently got curious, as you will see have seen in the intro, about this book because I've had it on my shelves for a little bit, and Icebreaker Gate is real around here on the booktubes. Whether you like this book or hate it, it has split some people in my friend group, and I know people that I trust their opinions that have loved it and have hated it. So we're going to see how I feel about this book, and we're going to jump into it. Full disclosure, I don't know a ton about this. I feel like most of what I know about this book is from hearing other people talk about it. I believe it's about a figure skater and a hockey player who have to work together after the hockey team sabotages, I believe unintentionally, the other ice rink, so they have to share space. So these two come into contact and have to get along, and I don't think they do at first. I'm not 100% sure. That's all I know about it. And I'm excited to try it, see if I like it. I did try to borrow the audiobook, but I haven't gotten that in yet because I am on the wait list. I should get it between now and the time that I'm reading it, but we'll see. I'm going to start it physically and see how I feel about it. This also kind of works out in a funny way because I was going to film a vlog for my 125th book for the year for a celebration of hitting 1,000 subscribers on this channel, and this just happens to all work out that I'm going to be vlogging this book, and it is the 125th book I'm reading this year. So woohoo me, hitting my goal for the year, and it's going to be with this. So we're going to see how this goes and if I end up on the love it or leave it side of Icebreaker. Hello. So I'm starting out by having comments on the playlist at the very beginning of this book. So Cruel Summer, great choice. When was this book published? Because I'm like, girl, great. 2022. All right, good call. Cruel Summer kicking off the playlist just like the Eras Tour. Amazing, beautiful. Then we get down here to Calvin Harris, and Calvin Harris is on this list. Not so sure about that choice, but Beyonce and Selena Gomez are both on this list, which is great. And then we get down to Janelle Monáe. So excellent choices, and Sabrina Carpenter is here. So like, okay, I can deal with it, but I'm not quite so sure about that Calvin Harris choice. But that's just me. But yeah, all right. I'm gonna put this on and try to start reading this book. So we might be in trouble. I've read chapter 1 and part of chapter 2, and just on like this first page of chapter 2, I don't even know this man's name yet. Nate. It sounds like he has a lot of sex and he doesn't really keep track of people, and then he's going to meet Anastasia and he's going to be obsessed with her, because that's kind of my kryptonite. That's kind of a buzzword for me. So that we could be in trouble. I don't know how it's going to work out. I don't know if that's actually going to happen. That's not something I want in real life, but is something that I kind of love in a book. So we're going to see. Hello. So I have left my book upstairs and I'm waiting for my dinner to cool. So I'm going to update you on the fact that I have been totally bamboozled by this book because I'm having a good time. And I fully expected to not have a good time. Like, I fully did not expect to have a good time, and I'm having a good time. And I feel totally bamboozled, and like I can't trust myself because I don't understand. Yeah, I'm not, is this the best book ever? No. But am I hate reading it? No. Am I sort of getting endeared to the entire hockey team? Yeah. Am I really attached to the roommate on the basketball team? Yep. Do I kind of hate the guy who is her ice skating partner? Oh yeah. But I'm at the 100-page mark and I just really want to keep reading this book. And I have been totally out of left field surprised that that's how my take is going, but that's how it's going so far. All right, so here's the thing. You're getting all the updates on this, seriously, because I just have so many things. So I just got the Icebreaker hold that came in on my library for the audiobook, thinking, oh, well, you know, like I'll start the book, but I had put a hold on it and everything. It's less than a day later. Luckily, the library I put the hold in on was like a quick turnover. And I went and I listened to a sample because I was like, now I kind of have a voice for Anastasia and Nate in my head, and I'm not sure if this is going to line up. And the audiobook narrator just sounds a little too old to me for Anastasia's part. Like, I'm just voicing her, you know, younger, like college age, and the person reading her part is probably, you know, not that much older than that, but she just sounds too old for a college student. So I think I'm going to stick with just physically reading this. Like, who am I? What is happening in this timeline? But I'm going to keep going, and we're going to see what happens. But, yeah. I haven't read any more. I just keep having updates for you. But I'm going to keep reading now. But I'm going to tell you right now that probably one of my favorite things that's happening in this book is Lo and Henry. No, Henry's got his own third book, and I know Russ is the second book. The other friend, Robbie and Lo, kind of happening in the background of all of this, and it's kind of one of my favorite parts right now. Hello! So, we have reached the infamous Uber scene. It wouldn't work like that. Everybody would know. Everyone would know. Or, I mean, at least one person already knew, and the whole damn car would know. So that was pretty unbelievable. Honestly, kind of weird, but I did like the conversations we had after the Uber scene. Like, once we got back to the apartment and the two of them were having a bit of a conversation about, you know, having their first time while they were drunk, and, you know, trying to discuss like what was going on with Anastasia and her previous situationship. Like, I did like that part. I don't really love how it ended, but I did like that part, that they're having these conversations. So I am interested to see where this goes. I am watching the B&K book club sprints right now, and Brittany just found out that I'm reading this book, and I'm sorry to everybody, but I am gonna keep my thoughts completely numb at this point. And like, you don't know, but this vlog is gonna go up on Saturday because I'm gonna finish this book. I'm thinking about staying up and just continuing to read it as long as I can, because it's reading very quickly. And yeah, that's kind of where I'm at right now. I continue to mostly have like no feelings about Anastasia and Nate as a couple, but I'm not having a bad time. Like, I'm invested in this group of characters, like the hockey team and Anastasia and her like group of friends and everything. Still hate Adam. I think his name is Adam. And her skating partner. Still hate him. And I'm interested to see where this goes. Like, as a group, I'm invested in that. But like Anastasia and Nate as a couple, I'm just sort of like fine with them. I'm not having a whole lot of feelings about them as a couple. But the background couples, I'm like really invested in them. So like, it's the larger group I am having a lot of fun reading about. I'm enjoying this like group of friends and everything, but it's just like, there was just this scene where Nate was really jealous about something, and I would normally like, you know, feel something about that, but I was just sort of like, okay, he's jealous, we're gonna keep going. So like, I should probably feel stronger about them and their status, but I mostly am just caring about the background characters right now. Well, not the background characters. I'm caring about like what's going on outside of the romance. But I'm having a good time doing it, which is really confusing because I feel like I should have more feelings about them as a couple, but I don't, but I'm fine with it. I'm not mad. I'm having a great time. Hello. So it is a Thursday, and I have reached the 275 page mark in this book. I think the last time I updated you, I was talking about the infamous Uber scene, and a lot has happened since then, but yet a lot hasn't. Like, we've gotten through the middle of this book, and shit has hitteth the fan, as they would say in 10 Things I Hate About You. And I was having a lot of the same feelings. I was enjoying the cast of characters, the mental health rep. I was feeling kind of nothing about Anastasia and Nate as a couple. And I will say that that has stayed consistent, and that's starting to kind of lessen my enjoyment of the book, because I also am seeing how a lot of their conflicts are resolved so quickly. Like, so many things are just, we are told it has been a lot of time. We have been told, Nate is going to these games. We are told, we don't see a lot of it. Like, a lot of the problems and things are, there's an issue, and then we have a scene where they're apart, and then they have a scene together and they resolve things. And like, I appreciate the communication. I communicate the conversations they're having. I just would appreciate a little more like tension within this book, because it's starting to feel like a merry-go-round. Like, we have a conflict, they resolve it, they have sex, we have a party, and like, it's fine. It's not bad. It's just a little repetitive to me. So I'm also kind of missing the group at this point, because we're spending a lot of time with Anastasia and Nate, and the group of characters is becoming more background characters, and that's fine. That's how it works in a romance book. But because I am sort of feeling not a lot about these two, I'm missing those characters. I'm not missing Aaron. He is awful. Hate him totally. I do, like I said, like the mental health rep in here. I do like the conversations that Nate and Anastasia are having around, therapy, and with other people, like Anastasia's therapist is involved in this book. I like just the conversations they have to take care of one another. I do like that, especially when Nate was talking to Anastasia about her, weight and eat, like, it is an eating disorder, and we discuss it, like, I did like that, and that was on page and brought up, and how they're trying to figure that out. So we're gonna have to see how this book ends, but I'm feeling very like middle of the road about this book, which I kind of wish I hated it more or loved it more, but I'm feeling very, very middle of the road about it. Hello everyone. So I have finished Icebreaker this morning. And this book gets 2 stars. 1 for Anastasia and 1 for the hockey team. And that's it. Because I did not have a good time at the end of this book. I did not. I thought it was entirely too long. I think this book was trying to do too many things. Like, it tried to be too many buzzwords. First of all, Anastasia is dealing with so much stuff. She has so much on her plate. She has so many things going on. She has so many men's emotions she has to regulate. And I was just tired of it till the end, because I was frustrated. So we got to like the 3/4 point. Like, okay, so let's talk about Nate for just a second. I liked Nate about half of the time in this book. The other half of the time, I didn't have a lot of feelings with him for the first like 2/3. And then I just got frustrated and angry with him in the last third. Like, I understood he was like dealing with some emotions. Anastasia was using all of her therapy work on him, and he just was not like helpful in any way. Like, I was so frustrated with him. So I ended up like not liking him till the end of this book. And Anastasia, I loved Anastasia. I loved her. She had so much going on. She was dealing with it all. She was trying to be a figure skater, a student. She had a job. She had a boyfriend. She had so much going on, and she had issues with her parents. She had the situation with Aaron and Nate that was, risking her career. She was trying to be a figure skater. She had an eating disorder. She had all of these things going on. She was such a complex character, and she was handling all of it so well. And Nate was a hockey player who we never got to see actually play hockey very much, and a party boy. And he was supportive of her, but I just I was just not by the 2/3 mark. And then when all of this happened at the 2/3 mark, I'm trying not to be spoilery, but there's stuff that happens where he's not listening to her at the 2/3 mark, and I just got so frustrated. I'm like, you are using all your therapy words on him. You are trying to make him feel heard, and he's not doing it for you at all. So I was just frustrated with him at that point. I also thought this book was just doing way too much with so many things. Anastasia had issues with her parents, for example, and I felt like we ended up clearing that up in one scene, and I was like, why is it there if we can clear it up that quickly? We'd get into these things and it would just be surface level. We wouldn't actually have it be a deep conversation, or something that was, I feel like we could have taken away one or two of the things going on in the background of their relationship, and it would have shortened the book, which I think would have been nice, and it would have just made it a lot less we could have just done a little deeper with some of this other stuff. So at the end of the day, they lost me. I really thought this book was going to be 4 stars at the midway point. I was having a great time. And I'll also say that I personally forgot that this was supposed to be enemies to lovers, so that wasn't disappointing to me. I just thought they got off on the wrong foot, and then they ended up getting along. So I was I kind of forgot that was supposed to be a plot line, so that didn't bother me. I was just having a good time. And then it just, as we got more serious about stuff, I loved Anastasia. I loved all of the therapy talk. I loved all the mental health rep. I loved, like I said, the hockey guys. I loved how all of these characters took care of each other and they were making a community, all of this stuff. But the relationship between Anastasia and Nate just was not it for me. And, it never really got to the point where I was endeared to them. And then as the book went on, and just I was getting more and more frustrated with the plotting, as well as their relationship, I just kind of checked out on it. So, and the epilogue made me mad. I won't get too into it because I don't want to do any spoilers, but actually those were 2 of my least favorite tropes going on there. So if you want me to be more specific, I can talk to you about it, but two least favorite trope things happened for me in the epilogue, even though I know they're common. So maybe I'm just not a romance girly, because I liked literally so much of this book except for the romance. Maybe that's the lesson here. I don't know. But anyway, that is my thoughts on Icebreaker. So I think I'm going to end up in the haters club. And if you have any thoughts or feelings or want to share anything about the book that I talked about today, please let me know down below. If you want to chat, if you're not feeling chatty, but you still want to leave me a comment, you can always leave some kind of ice hockey, ice skating emoji, a figure skate is a great choice. But that is it for me today. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.